Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. It's Thursday and it's coffee day, which means it's Cappy day. How are you doing, Caps? I hope you're all doing well. I'm redoing your reading because you kind of got a bit of the brunt of some of the tricky energy that's been going on this week. Just generally through a lot of the readings, there's been a lot of secretive energy, a lot of fear energy. It's, I think, because we're approaching that big full moon in, depending on whether you're sun-centric or earth-centric, Libra or Scorpio. So obviously Pluto is still knocking around your chart. So if the full moon is in if the full moon is in Scorpio and you've got Pluto in your chart, which rules Scorpio, and I think there's like squares and trines and that kind of stuff being made, it's, you may be having a bit of fear at the moment. Maybe not. Maybe you're overcoming your fears. I am getting this kind of like overcoming the devil energy for you at the moment. You also got a lot of moon energy in your last reading. You got the moon clarified by the moon, clarified by the void card, the void course of the moon. So like big kind of either secretive energy or like using your intuition energy to figure things out where you don't have the answers. It's like where you can't see, your intuition is leading you the right way, something like that. I'm also getting that you may have had either a difficult conversation or like a conversation that's had like a big impact. I was getting like the Ace of Swords through, and Symphony by, I don't know, it'll be down in the description box below, but it's I've been hearing symphonies where before there was silence. So I don't know if some of you are having like an activation with the void as well. It can talk about like dark night of the soul or spiritual awakening, or just the void, right? The where we get this information from, you know, acts like kind of like the spiritual library, the spiritual like storehouse can be called the void. So I don't know if you're tapping into that more or trusting that. Again, a lot of you, I've had messages in the past about some of you being quite psychic, Cappies, and having almost like a shaman like earth, like, I don't know, warlocky kind of quality to you. Where actually maybe some of you have suppressed that just because, you know, Capricorns, you do tend to like want to follow the rules and fit in and kind of, well, not fit in necessarily, but yeah, you do like to know where you stand with things. And I think if you're trying to achieve something strategically, you may want to have like reduced that aspect of yourself. I don't know. You know, especially, I don't know. I've done those readings. We're not doing those readings now. Let's move on. So I have got my window open, by the way, if you're hearing like the background noise. If it gets too much, I'll shut it. Again, this, oh, that could be significant, right? If you've opened the window, like the window in your mind's eye, and it gets too much and it gets too overwhelming, it's like you may have the urge to shut it again, to kind of pull back from that. I want to say maybe lean into it. I think maybe, you know, the path that your energy is following is to use more of this intuitive energy. Hang on. Yeah, maybe to use more of this intuitive energy. Oh, I'm knocking things over. Sorry, I didn't hit the camera with my boob. Yeah, like to trust your gut or to trust that inner wisdom, that inner voice. A Sagittarius also had something like this. So you've got this, I've been hearing symphonies when first, like before there was silence. This is literally what happened to me. I would wake up in the middle of the night with songs blasting in my head. And funnily enough, all last night, I kept on getting songs that I didn't recognize. It's like definitely like, there were definite songs, right? They had a tune, they had words. But I was like, I don't know that song. And I didn't jot any of them down, so because I was really tired. I was just like, I'm hearing symphonies. So I don't know if some of you are also experiencing this, where you're like hearing songs in your head, especially like songs that you don't recognize, and then you look them up and they're a real song. And yeah, I don't know. But funnily enough, the song that randomized for you is You're Not Alone by Olive. You're not alone. I'll wait till the end of time with you, for you. Open your mind. Surely it's time to be with me. So yeah, I don't know how it's, you've got that energy to your reading of, I really don't know how this is gonna go. I don't know what to expect from you today, Caps. Let's have some coffee to like prepare for this. Okay, Caps, I'm really getting, and again, it's like you're going into the wild unknown. I'm really getting drawn to the wild unknown decks. So you're going to possibly have slightly longer reading. You're going to have like a reading a pre-reading, if you like. So let's just see what comes out of the wild unknown for you. The mystic, there you go. Absolutely, absolutely. The womb on the bottom. This could be something that you were born with, like a child, like an ability that it could actually come from your maternal side, like your mother's side. And the vessel, yeah, look at this. Wow, the mystic and the vessel. Yeah, definitely. Obviously, the vessel is the body, the vehicle for the soul. So it does talk about, obviously, with the womb there as well. It can talk about, you know, some psychic ability of yours being birthed. It can talk about something that's been within you since you were in the womb. It could be talking, I don't know, maybe you're destined to have a child or something. I don't know, but the vessel is also like the vehicle for your own soul. Like the body is the vehicle for your own soul. So this does talk about healthy eating, exercising, treating your body with the respect it deserves. So let's just bob those up there. Look at the colours as well, those kind of orangey colours. Yeah, open your mind's eye, I guess. Like, wow, powerful card. Let's keep going because I just kind of want to get all the cards out. I don't want to spend too long on this, but I was definitely thinking there's a message here that wants to come out from these cards. I'm actually seeing, funnily enough, and it fits in quite well, I'm seeing the Three of Wands from this deck. I don't know if it's going to come out or not, but that's what I was seeing when I was getting pulled to this deck. And the Three of Wands in this deck is like three sort of sticks like this, and it makes a portal, so which actually does look a little bit like a vagina. Or I don't know, there's something otter. I think there's something about vaginas with your reading, Caps. I mean, I'm going to say it once and then I'm going to leave it there, but like the otter as well. Okay, and the lizard on the bottom. So shape-shifting, perhaps, I don't know. The otter, the panther. It's feeling to me like almost like the same energy, almost like that gorgeous kind of like Kundalini awakening, divine feminine, like raw energy, right? Like almost like the feminine power of kind of like Venus Aphrodite, or you know, some of the Hindu goddesses or like Egyptian goddesses, that kind of like the power of the feminine. For some of you, the otter, though, the otter for me is always looking for a playmate. They're always looking for somebody to go out and have fun with, and they mate up for life as well. They hold the little hands and they like swim around together. Super cute. I love the otter card. It's always like a really happy, high vibrational card for me. Really sweet as well. Like I always think like it's just like, where's my friend? Where's my friend? And then this panther energy, which is like this dark kind of like powerful, very intuitive, again, that kind of plutonic energy, like almost like the psychic energy kind of really powering someone through. So really gorgeous cards there. Like obviously, like I feel like the panther could be like like the otter could be like the prey of the panther, but I'm not feeling that so much. I'm feeling like almost like it's almost like my powerful friend, right? Like my intuition perhaps is my powerful friend, something like this. Okay, let's keep going. What else, please? Oh, straight away for caps. Cappies, cappies, cappies. Okay. The Emperor. Yeah, I'm seeing the Emperor a lot for you. For some of you, you've definitely been dealing with like kind of like patriarchal figures. So whether it's, and again, it doesn't have to be gender applied to it. It could be the like female as well. But for a lot of you, it's coming through this kind of patriarchal energy of like a controlling boss, a controlling father. You know, having to live up to the expectations of these older or more powerful male figures. And a lot of you are becoming the emperor. I had this reading where it's like you were taking the seat at the head of the table. And you've been getting a lot of cards. I remember about a year ago, you kept on getting this deer card that said, take the lead, take the lead, take the lead. And I almost feel like you are now. It's like you are almost like stepping into a position that you were born to be in, because I get this thing for you about like leadership. And again, it doesn't have to be, it could be like, I don't know, taking the lead in some kind of family situation, taking the lead in your own life. I was seeing the Chariot actually before I started pulling cards. you know, or just stepping up, like stepping up vibrationally into the powerful being that you were always meant to be, into somebody who can take ownership and leadership of their own life. Definitely this kind of like replacing the emperor with the new emperor coming through. And also like guiding the next generation by the hand as well. Definitely seen that a lot for you lot, Caps. So yeah, definitely really pleased to see the Emperor in the upright is here, because I feel like that's your energy. It's almost like correcting the mistakes of the generation before, or moving into a new phase. My tummy's rumbling. I'm so sorry if you can hear that. I think there's something going on with like the lower chakras this week because my tummy's very talkative. Okay, so we've got the Six of Cups and Judgment. So this is soulmate energy. The Six of Cups is soulmates. Interesting, you've got the Emperor here with this tree, and this tree here with these deep roots. So it's like, this always says to me, you will be able to grow taller and more sturdy if you lay solid foundations, if you plant it right, okay? If you nurture, if you make sure you plant in good soil, it has lots of nutrients, it has lots of vitamins, you know, you give that tree plant food or fertilizer. If you you know, if you bury it deep, if you make sure that soil is like, you know, the right density for those roots to like really grip on and, you know, take root and grow. And also like if you have like the right conditions, so like the right water, and all these kind of things. And obviously water is symbolic of emotions. So it's like, if you have the right environment, you'll grow really big and strong. So this feels a little bit to me like creating the right environment, but also creating the right environment. Again, it could be like father and son, right? Or father and daughter, or your generation and the next generation. And it may not even be like that you have children yourself. It could be that you're thinking almost generationally in terms of, okay, how do I set the seeds for the future? How do I lay the foundations for the next thing that's to come? So it could be like your workplace, right? The next I don't know, the next influx of trainees or something like that, or the next phase of whatever it is you're working on. It's like, let's do this right. Let's make this like the base of this really, really solid. Let's lay the groundwork. And then, yeah, so then you've got a really secure foundation for this to grow. So it does feel like you and a smaller energy, or you and a boss energy, but I'm more feeling like this is you again, because you're coming through really powerfully with that, almost like that Plutonic Emperor energy, that kind of I'm in control here. That's what Scorpio says. You know, I'm in control. I'm making decisions from my deep feelings and really strong intuition. So it's almost like this Scorpionic Emperor, which is interesting because the Emperor in this deck gives the Emperor in that deck gives me a Scorpionic energy as well. So yeah. With the Six of Cups and the Judgment card, these cards together do give me soulmate energy or past life energy. So some of you may believe in the reincarnation of the soul, especially with the Vessel and the Mystic here. Some of you may feel like you have a destiny or have a purpose. And I think there's something here about breaking free or rising above. I may also put up your other reading. I don't know. I'm not sure about it. Maybe just let me know if you want the link. And yeah, it's like breaking free of the chains. It's almost like this is the devil energy. So breaking free of addictions, breaking free of your own fears, breaking free of anything from the past that kind of was trying to stick to you and hold you down. I'm getting almost like a couple of readings have had this, like almost like a tar energy. I feel like Libra had it with the Seven of Pentacles up here, and I feel like maybe Sagittarius might have had it as well. This kind of like, I can't remember, it might be one of the readings that I've not put up yet, because I'm actually doing your reading last on the day it's going up. Sort of Aquarius and Pisces are already done. So yeah, like this kind of like almost like psychic gloop, right? Like almost like a negative psychic gloop in your aura, or in your it's like the, oh, do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of, have you ever seen Fern Gully? There's a film called Fern Gully, and the bad guy in that is this like toxic gloop. So it's almost like that toxic gloop is what's been, and it's like stuff from the past. Like I don't know, like things that happened in the past that have kind of like stuck to your psyche, or you know, your own fears or your own doubts, or you know, if someone once told you you weren't good enough, it kind of like stuck with you, and you're just kind of like almost like lifting, or like spirit is almost like lifting you out of this, like like letting it drip off. Have you ever, like, you know, like if you let honey or like syrup drop off a spoon, it like it takes ages, right? You can sit there for ages, but eventually it does all fall off. So it's like it's this process of healing from something that was like below and dark, and then breaking free of it and having this renewal, having this second life, having this, you know, being able to spread your wings and fly. You've also got this butterfly imagery here, and also I saw it here. So yeah, maybe something like butterfly effect. Maybe, I don't really understand what that is very well. It's kind of like excuse me, my throat's closing up now. It's kind of like the butterfly effect is like, if you went back in time and changed something, it would have like a ripple effect, and it's quite unpredictable. So it's almost like going back in time in your own mind, maybe through counseling. I think maybe some of you have had like some kind of like you know, you've had like talking therapy, or like regression or something like this, like going back into the past, and talking to your past self, you know, not talking to your childhood self, through, I don't know, visualization or meditation, and going in and being there, like being the father or being the mother or being the parental, like, guardian that you needed in those moments where you didn't have one, and telling yourself, you know, comforting yourself and saying it's going to be okay, it's not your fault, you know, you're going to break through this, like, look at me now. It's reminding me of that film as well with oh sorry, I'm really bad with names and faces, which is not great. I think it's Ryan Reynolds. It's definitely one of the Ryans, and he's like he's a pilot in a spaceship, and he goes back in time and like meets his childhood self, and they teach each other lessons. So it's kind of got that energy, but visualizing it, or even like past life regression as well. It could be with the Six of Cups. There's definitely something about the past, or nostalgia, or childhood, or people from the past, and yeah, this rebirth, this second chance, this like almost like shaking off the shackles and like flying up. Really cool energy. I'm glad that I used these decks for you. I'm going to read the Mystic specifically. I'm going to read the whole of that card, and then I'm going to just kind of check in with the Otter and the Panther briefly, and then we'll move on to like the standard reading. So the Mystic, that is 21. 21 may be a significant number for you. You could have done something when you were 21 that was significant, you know, had some kind of significant life experience at that age. Okay. Yeah, you're getting big energy this week. The seeker, the light worker, the dreamer. The mystic is often misunderstood in our culture, depicted as a wandering or light-hearted daydreamer. Yet, like Shiva, the true mystic plays a critical role in society, remaining fearlessly dedicated to the path of transformation. And this is a transformation card. You've got 3 cards, like the 2 butterflies and the Judgment, huge transformative energy. I do feel, especially like when I watched your other reading back, I do feel like somebody's having an ego death, which is almost like when you have an ego death. I mean, you can Google it and, you know, get the true definition. But for me, it's almost like suddenly transcending kind of material or earthly expectations. So a lot of the time when we grow up, in whatever culture or environment we grow up in, which is again talking about what we have here with this, like the environment, right? The environment has to be right for that tree to grow really tall. If it's like, if you plant a pine tree, if you planted it in the desert, it would be too dry, perhaps. If you planted it in a tundra, it's going to be too icy and cold. So you have to have like that beautiful, like coniferous forest environment, like stodgy, like rich soil for it to grow and really, really prosper. And there's something here as well about growing taller than the other trees, right? Breaking through the canopy, and getting that sunlight. The sun was on the bottom of this deck when I first saw it. You know, and it being a challenge. It's almost like, I do feel like you there's this competitive energy to your reading, which I came through in the other reading as scrappy dappy do. I was getting that you're scrappy. So it's like fighting to break through the canopy, like fighting to grow taller than the other trees. It's almost like it could be you're trying to get recognition in something, like you're trying to grow tall enough to be seen by some kind of bigger energy. Could be the universe, could be a boss, I don't know, could be a father. But it's like you're trying to grow tall enough to see the light. It's funny, I keep getting these references about like climbing the mountain. It's come through several times now, and having this epiphany. So it's almost like having to get higher, like, you know, like the Tower of Babel, that came through for somebody as well, at some point. Again, I don't know if it's in a reading that's going up or a reading that I've pulled back, but somebody had this tower energy, like the Tower of Babel, and how you know, they were trying to like make their own way to heaven. And it's like that energy of like the pyramids and things as well, of like trying to get to the top, trying to get higher, trying to get closer to God, perhaps, and get some kind of recognition. So I don't know if you're doing something in terms of like soul growth, like you're trying to overhaul your soul, so that it can be seen and recognized, perhaps. There definitely is some kind of like, there's definitely some kind of like spiritual energy or like spiritual awakening, or I don't know, preoccupation of thoughts, not for all of you but for some of you, because in the reading that I'm probably not going to put up, you had the devil here and the death card here. So it does feel like, you know, like fighting for your own soul, against perhaps, it could be like people around you who are trying to drag you down. You know, for example, if you've got an alcohol addiction and all your friends want you to go out drinking with them, you know, it can be really hard to break out of those expectations, those social expectations, and kind of like, you know, do what you need to do for yourself. It can, you know, and like you had this thing 1 week about if you lie down with dogs, you'll get fleas, which was like, if you keep hanging around with the wrong people, like the sketchy friends, you know, that's going to rub off on you. Like again with like the tar, you had this a while back about like rubbing off a temporary tattoo as well. It's like you're rubbing off some kind of what is this, you're rubbing off the part of yourself, the veneer of yourself, the mask that you wear, you're rubbing off the part of yourself, sorry, I'm channeling this now, you're rubbing off the part of yourself that was constructed through environmental factors, or social expectations. So it's you're discovering, you're rubbing away the surface and discovering the real you, like the authentic inner core of your soul, and hoping, and I think achieving this recognition from God or the universe. So there's big energy this week, guys. Okay, it's not going to be for everybody. You may be experiencing this on different levels. Some of you could be like peak dark night of the soul, spiritual awakening. I'm hearing symphonies where there was silence before, like peak ego death, right? Some of you are in the peak of that. Some of you are I'm hearing I'll hold your hand, by the way. I don't know if that's some kind of like spirit guide. If you feel like you've got somebody on the side of spirit who's holding your hand, who's got your back, I'm hearing that here. So, oh my God, hang on, what's going on? It sounds like there's a thirst sound. It's coming from the left, which normally I get, a lot of my guides come from the right for me. This is coming from the left. I'm getting like a thaw sound, like a definite like TH sound, and then it sounds like an O. It's quiet though. It's like it sounds to me like Thor or Thoth. But it's like a Thor sound, so I don't know. I was just trying to be quiet enough to hear it, but I don't want to stop the reading for too long. So okay. Blah, blah, blah. Right, hang on, let's go again. The mystic is often misunderstood in our culture, depicted as a wandering or light-hearted daydreamer. Yet, like Shiva, and again, Shiva is one of those Hindu goddesses, right? The true mystic plays a critical role in society, remaining fearlessly dedicated to the path of transformation. In order to save the earth from darkness, Shiva swallows the poison, no way, you had that in your other reading, of the world and holds it in his throat. Oh, his, sorry. slowly transmuting the liquid into nectar. This is the work of the mystic. They do not fear darkness, but rather sit in the presence of it, harnessing the potential. What did I say here? It's like the darkness is your power. It's like there's energy in that darkness that you can transform into something that's high vibrational. This is so cool. They do not fear darkness, but rather sit in the presence of it, harness the potential and latent energy behind it, and embed it with light. They are patient and prudent change makers, seeking growth above all else. Unanswerable questions are the mystic's lifeblood. The mystic revels in mystery, in the great riddle of life, dancing with the forces of light and dark upon its wings. This is so cool. When light, remover of darkness, visionary and ageless. Go deeper. Zen koan's poetry and Murakami novels. I don't know what any of those things are. It may seem that the mystic is inward facing, and yet its light beams back into the world with the strength of 1,000 stars. This is so cool. Like any light worker, the mystic must build a relationship with fire. This begins by awakening the inner flame or tapas within. Okay, cool. Go and awaken that inner flame, I guess. Again, could be talking about like opening up the chakras or kundalini energy. You can just go and Google any of those things that I just said. You're getting all the big hits, right? All the greatest hits. You're getting like spiritual awakening, ego death, dark night of the soul, like kundalini energy. It's all here. Right. What else? So the otter and the panther. I love the otter. It's one of my favourite cards in this deck. Yeah, you got in the other reading you got a card where it's almost like this person was being handed a choice. It was like the poison or the mirror, and the way it came through to me was like, are you gonna do that self-reflection? Are you gonna have that ego death? Are you gonna lean into that and allow it and allow your true self to come through, or are you gonna keep taking this poison? And the poison was representing some kind of cycle that you were stuck in, maybe a cycle of temptation. Again, it could be talking about like for example, alcohol addiction, but it could be many different things. It's like whatever that devil whatever the devil that changed you represents for you, whatever that old cycle is. But the mirror was like, are you going to see yourself, your true self, like on a soul level? And then you had also Rita Ora, poison. I picked my poison and it's you. So this like transmuting the poison or the venom into something that is healing. Oh my god, yes. I've been getting a lot of stuff about tarantulas and like snakes as well. So it's like the poison is the cure or something like that. It's, you know how you can like milk a snake for the venom and then like you use that the same venom to create the anti-venom. It's like the venom and the anti-venom. And Spider-Man, I keep getting that lullaby by The Cure. Oh my god, it makes sense now. I love when things suddenly make sense for me, because I was like, what is this? This sounds well creepy. Like looking for spiders in my bedroom. And then I even like went swimming yesterday and my son had like a Spider-Man towel. I'm seeing like Spider-Man. So it's like it's almost like with the mirror as well. I'm just thinking about, I don't want to do any spoilers, but I'm thinking about Aquarius's reading tomorrow too, which I definitely recommend maybe checking in on if you're on the cusp. But there was this thing about, like, there's this thing coming through. Hang on, give me a second to regather my thoughts. Okay, so it's something about fighting against your own ego, right? Fighting against, it's almost like your soul and the construction, right? The vessel, the construction, the physical, the outward facing version of who you are, right? The you that you've constructed through like social media, through the choices that you've made in life, right? The constructed you versus the authentic inner soul that's you. And it's almost like having this conversation, kind of like that David Bowie song that Nirvana covered. We met up on the stairs. It's like he's having a conversation with himself in the mirror, I always think. So it's like and again, it could be like a past self, almost like doppelganger energy of like running into, it could be like maybe you've had a dream of this, like you ran into a version of yourself, but it's like the authentic you, the subconscious you, and the constructed you having this kind of like battle to the death. Like who's going to win? Who's going to win? The version of you that's trying to please society, or the version of you that's immortal. I think I know who's going to win. I think I might know who wins that battle. So yeah, big ego death energy. It's very cool. But also because I was getting a lot of stuff a few weeks back about like Harvey Dent, you know, Two-Face from Batman, and how I can't remember the name of the cartoon right now that I was watching, but it was you know, he was very split in that. He was almost like two people, right? Two-Face is two people. Where I was getting this comparison with Batman, who, although he plays two roles, right? The light side, the public side, and the hidden side, he carries across the same morals. He's basically the same person. He's just, the mask allows him to hide. He's like the same person. He is the same person. The same groundwork between those two. Like the base of who he is remains the same. Where Harvey Dent is like two completely different people. He's like the same person playing two roles. You see what I mean? There's like a difference between two people occupying one body or one person occupying two roles. There's a big difference there. So this feels like almost for some of you, like the two versions of yourself, the soul version and the construction. I'm just thinking as well, I recently watched Me, Myself and Irene as well. It's like bringing these into alignment, bringing these into almost like looking at them both and saying, okay, what do I need to keep from this version of myself? What do I need to keep from that version of myself? And what do we need to let go of so that these two versions can like align? If it really feels like this is like, it feels like this is a battle for your own soul within yourself, like you fighting your own shadow self. Like that is how it feels. I'm hearing redemption. So the otter represents unobstructed joy, playfulness, and contentedness. Perhaps the most joyful creature within the animal spirit deck, the otter represents absolute bliss. Otter energy is the playfulness of a child available to us at any age. They have a giddiness and a reverence for life itself, without the presence of doubt, worry, or skepticism, or did I say that fear energy coming through. Imagine yourself with a little more otter energy. What would life look like? What would it take to bring you there? The otter card begs these questions and wants to transport us to that precious place as soon as possible. The celebration awaits. And then you've got this water and fire energy, which is really cool and transformative as well. Like fire and water is the temperance card. Again, temperance, if some of you have been battling some kind of addiction, and it's a card about alchemy. It's about taking these two opposing forces, fire and water, and creating something that's like new and transformative. So yeah, very, very cool. Lots of cool stuff coming through in this reading for you. I just got a personal message there, which was interesting and a little bit worrying. Panther, annihilation of the unnecessary purging. That's what it is. Oh my God. The panther won't stand to see our growth or energy stagnate. Instead, it pounces into our lives and causes all kinds of havoc with the ultimate intention of bringing us towards more fulfilling lives. It's unexpected, uncomfortable, and sometimes feels devastating. You do have the Tower, those two cards that fell off here, the Tower and the Fool, which I feel came through for somebody else. But after all the dust clears, it's easy to see the panther's wisdom at work. We've all been through these experiences, and they've made us better people. Trust that the panther's journey always leads to a brighter place. So there does feel like something, again, with that Ace of Swords that I was seeing, it did have that kind of tower energy of like a conversation that changes everything. And then this is almost like leaping away from the burning building, like the Tower of Babel or whatever you want to call it is falling, and you're gonna you know, grab what you need and leave, right? It's like tickets, money, passport, whatever fits into that bag, and you're gonna go. And it's like you're gonna let that fall away. And it's almost like it's almost like the tower is that constructed ego. It's like the tower is the construction of the self in this 3D tangible world. And I'm not saying that any of you need to do anything stupid in terms of like life or death, right? That's not what I'm saying. This is like, it's an ego death. So it's like the you that you've constructed through, I don't know, social media presence or whatever it is, right? The constructed you and the almost like the soul just leaping into a whole new version of yourself. It feels a bit like midlife crisis or something. It feels a bit like, oh my goodness, this life that I've built for myself, that I've spent years cultivating and growing, is not what I want, and it's not what I need, or it's about to fall away. Like, oh my goodness, this, what I thought I wanted, again, it's like this construction energy, this life that I built for myself that represents who I am, suddenly is not serving me anymore, and I can see how it's trapping me. So I'm going to go out into the world with only kind of like the things that I can carry with me internally. So your own skill set, your own the lessons that you've learned, the you know, who you are as a person, and like going out and rebuilding a life that suits you and fits you better. So cool. Okay, so is that the reading? What am I on? 35. Let's do the rest of the reading really, really quickly. Hopefully, I said I was going to do that quickly, and we're 35 minutes in. Maybe I'll use this deck. Oh, the otter came back out. Oh my goodness. Okay, Otter, you can stay. You can just stay there. Okay, we love you, Otter. Thank you for being here in our reading today. Okay, right, coffee. It's just such a cool reading. They're playing Joyride by Roxette. Come on, join the Joyride. Yeah, I was getting as well, somebody could have on a less epiphany level, somebody could have heard something for the first time. So I'm almost getting like a story of, it's funny because I keep on getting like Mount Sinai, which is like a hospital network, I think, based in New York. And I keep getting New York, and I keep getting Coney Island. It's almost like and this pilgrimage as well. So I don't know if somebody's had to kind of like, I'm sorry, this is such a specific storyline, and it's not going to be for everybody. I'm just thinking Joyride and Coney Island, these references keep coming through. And maybe this kid really likes Spider-Man, I don't know. It's like, it's so specific, and I don't even know if I'm getting this right. It's one of those where I'm like, am I reading this correctly? But if I trust my instinct, like somebody could have a child who has had something with the hearing or vision, but I'm getting more hearing because of symphony. And it's like they've had to travel to have the surgery, because I've been getting doctors a lot as well, to allow them to hear, you know, to fix the ear, or to have surgery to construct an eardrum or something like that. I don't even know if that's possible. I'm getting pioneering. But then like being able to hear, it could be just a really good hearing aid, right? But then suddenly being able to hear and not being able to hear before, and having, I'm going, oh my goodness, like the emotions coming in with this. And then like having that first conversation, you know, like being able to actually speak and know that your child is hearing you, like for the first time, like with that Ace of Swords. That could be a story for somebody, I don't know, take it or leave it. It could just be a metaphor for perhaps being heard, perhaps speaking your truth and really feeling like you're being heard for the first time. Okay. Two Swords. Something blocked. Communication blocked. Thoughts blocked. There's the Devil. See, we see him all the time. It is your card in the tarot, so this could just be, yeah, Capricorn, you. You know, this is you. But it could also be, you know, talking about all those things that the devil can represent. And I always say as well, the difficult cards in the tarot, the Towers, the Devils, the Death card, it's when you start to see it as a learning experience or a challenge. In your other reading, you had this thing about like, bring it on, you know, I'm not afraid of a challenge. Scrappy Dappy Doo. It was like, when the storms roll in, when you see those storms coming in on the horizon, it's like, bring it on, I've got this. Like, I know what to do. I know what to do in this situation, or I'm going to figure it out. Like, it's almost like approaching any kind of tumultuous or problematic energy in your life as a superhero, as the person who's like, do you know what? I'm going to win this fight. Or do you know what? I'm going to do my best here. I'm going to really fight for this thing. and actually starting to see, actually almost like leaning into it and like almost being like enjoying when those storms come in, because it's, again, like Libra had this thing about like the adrenaline kicking in, or like like the need to have a human response to something, right? So even though life gives us lemons, it's like, um yeah, let's make the lemonade. Let's squash these things into lemonade. I don't know. It's like, oh, I love lemonade. Like, yeah, give me those lemons. Something like that. I don't know. It's like it's having a glass half full perspective, and trusting that you can survive the storms. Right. So yeah, it's almost like it's just a different approach. It's approaching the world with a growth mindset of bring it on. I know that these things are here to make me grow and to help me learn. The Empress, gorgeous. Yeah, like she can handle it. The Empress tops the devil every damn time. The devil cannot hide when the Empress is in the room, because she will call it out. And the devil works in the unseen. The devil works in the dark corners. So when the Empress is there, like in the center of the room saying, here I am, like almost as well, like harnessing it again with that kind of the panther energy of like taking that darkness. What was the word that came through for somebody? Incubating. It's like incubating the darkness and turning it into light, right? It's like it's almost her source of power. It's like it's almost like the engine room. Like this, the devil becomes her engine room. And again, it's this thing about turning the venom into something positive. Like some people have that gift to like take the negative and flip it and change the situation entirely, or even just change the approach people are taking to those situations. So again, this could be like, I don't know, boardroom, because the Empress can be like a boss. It can be like, we're in the boardroom, oh no, this problem has happened, and it's like, brilliant, we're going to solve that problem, you know, we're going to innovate here, we're going to like rise to the challenge, you know, we'll get knocked down but we'll get up again, you know, like, and we'll learn how to get back up again. It's like it's turning the problems into a challenge. It's such strong energy. Okay. These kind of came out reverse. I'm going to take them as reverse because again I want to have like a positive reading. So I'm actually getting told to put them back in, but the Three of Cups can talk about a party, a celebration, your community, people around you, friendship circles, soulmates, and the Nine of Swords, it can talk about gossip as well, and Nine of Swords can talk about, you know, the fears getting the better of you and having mental anxiety or mental health problems, or being very stressed, but I'm getting told to put them back in. And I feel like they came out reversed as well. So it's almost like put them away. You know, we're not focusing on that. We're not focusing on the negative. I mean, the Three of Cups is positive, but if we're talking about gossip, like the fear of what people say, it's like we're putting that away. We're putting that to bed. The World. Oh my God, you've got 3 major arcana. That is massive. So you're going through, I feel like some kind of like, almost like psychic blockage or communication blockage, or, you know, your thoughts getting the better of you in terms of like stopping you from doing something. It's almost like self-sabotage, or, you know, feelings of like telling yourself you're not good enough, and going from that into the Empress trumps the devil. Like, I've got control of the situation. We're doing this in a high vibrational way. Like, so good. And then the World card is like, it could literally talk about like travel, like global travel. It can talk about the internet. It can talk about learning big lessons and closing out big major cycles in your life. It really feels like something is wrapping up for you here. It feels like a major change or a major upheaval. It's not going to be for everybody, but the energy that I'm reading for is going through some big, impactful, empowering change, and there's a lot of lessons learned here. Ace of Cups, about unconditional love, which can represent to me the unconditional love of the universe, or the unconditional love for the self. It's like you fill your own cup first, and you can do that whenever you want. When you learn to connect to those higher energies through things like meditation and yoga, you have everything you need on a spiritual level within you. Then when you have a full cup of love, you can then start to share that with others and receive it yourself. But it comes from within first. So let's keep going. Unicorn. Use your intuition to make beneficial changes. So yeah, the thing about the Two of Swords is, and whale as well, great worry over nothing. Yeah, I feel like that fear energy that was coming through in your last reading, and just generally this week, because of, I think, what's going on with the moon, it was causing people to really sit in their fears. And facing your fears is actually facing your own ego, right? It could be somebody's got a fear of spiders, so they're, I don't know, holding a tarantula. It's like, face your fears, like feel the fear and do it anyway. For Libra, for the reading I didn't put up, it was coming through as like being on the top of a roller coaster and being like, there's no going back now. And like that moment of like, do I really want to do this, before you go forward, and it's like you're on the ride, right? So yeah, Two of Swords is it's a mental blockage, but she's blindfolded, and the symbolism of her standing in the water here is to use your intuition. Use your intuition when you don't know the answers, to make beneficial changes. And again, beneficial changes. So taking something that's not beneficial into something that is beneficial. The Devil card, please, for Capricorn. Being a bit secretive. June. I saw July as well when I was shuffling. So something could be coming up in June or July. You could be dealing with somebody who has a birthday in June. So let me just work it out. The end of July is Leo. So if we go back to the end of June, that'll be Cancer. And if we go back again, it'll be Gemini. So it could be a Gemini or a Cancer. Doesn't necessarily have to be. Something could be coming up in June for you. You could be facing your fears in June. Something could have happened last June. You could know somebody called June. I'm getting June bug, which could be symbolic for somebody. And happiness. So something really good could be coming up in June, or with somebody who's got a birthday in June. The Empress, please. The Empress. December and beetle, June bug. Okay, so good fortune. I'm getting PJ Harvey. I threw my good fortune off a tall building. I'd rather have done it with you. I'm also getting something about, again, New York keeps coming up, and the tower. It could be symbolizing the Empire State Building in New York. That could be symbolic for somebody. December. December could be you if you have a December birthday, because you're December, January. So it could be indicating you, or it could be indicating a Sagittarius. It could be indicating something that happened in December. It could be something that will happen next December. In regards to the Empress, which is your energy, and it can symbolize you as a mother. So we've got kind of like the father and the mother showing in this reading, which is really nice. It's like parenting yourself. Okay. One of the songs that came through, which I was debating whether or not to put in your reading, it randomized for you in the last reading, was Every Baby Needs a Daddy. I was like, I don't know if that's the best energy, because but it could be talking about you as a parent, or you with your you and your relationship to your parents. You get that Augustus energy a lot, of like or Aeneas, of like carrying your father on your back and leading your son by your hand, which is symbolic of taking on the expectations of the previous generation and the traditions and the culture that's been handed down to you. But then you being the filter and being able to decide what you pass on to the younger generation. You know, what do you pass on and what do you leave behind? So taking forward the positive and leaving behind anything that's outdated or outgrown or toxic, you know. Lightning. I heard light worker. As I turn this over, I heard light worker. Control your anger or you will be sorry. So yeah, just a bit of a reminder there. Control your anger. Because anger is the devil. When you get angry, there's no bad emotion. It's how you handle, it's how you transmute that emotion that's important. So if you are a victim to your own impulses, if you're a victim, if your devil is anger, and how you respond in an angry way, and if that anger controls you, then you are being controlled by that devil energy. When you harness that anger and you use it and utilize it into something productive, so you recognize the warning flags of, I'm going to lose my temper here, and you think, right, okay, I'm going to go for a run, I'm going I'm going to take myself out of this situation. I'm going to write down my feelings and process it. It's like whatever you need to do, I'm going to go and meditate. It's like whatever you need to do to get a grip on that anger, and to utilize it, because anger is such a powerful force and you can use it to drive change, right? You can use that healthy anger to you know, to make legislative changes, or to you know, stand up to somebody who you know, who's a bully, in a positive way. You know, anger, when it's controlled and harnessed, it makes change. But just be careful, just be careful. You don't want to be ruled by it. You want it to use it as a power source. Okay, Two of Swords, Nine of Cups. So somebody outside of you could be drinking too much, but also somebody outside of you could have found that emotional fulfillment, that well of resources from within. The Nine of Cups is wish fulfillment and emotional abundance, and no codependency. This is somebody who is emotionally independent. So this is your energy. This is outside of you, right? June, please. Caps. Ooh, I dropped all the deck. Seven of Wands. This, somebody around you may be a little bit defensive or trying to get the upper hand in a situation. So somebody could be kind of trying to win something, or yeah, it could be needing to defend themselves in some sort of way. I'm getting, for some of you, this could anger you to see somebody. Mars in Virgo has been coming up a lot with what happened with Will Smith, and I was kind of picking that up over here when I was talking about going for a run, but I didn't say it because I thought, well, it's not going to be for everybody, but it's come back up. So there could be somebody around you who, if you have somebody that you care about and you see them under attack in some sort of way, you may be very, very tempted to step in and fight the battles for them. I'm going to say just hold back a little bit. It may trigger almost like an automatic response from you that comes from a place of wounding. So there could be something, and this is getting a little bit specific, so I'm sorry, but I'm channeling with the Empress there. It's almost like there could be something to do with your relationship with your own mother. And when you see it playing out again, it could be extremely triggering for you. It's almost like if you felt disempowered, oh, this is a weird feeling. If you felt disempowered in childhood, in some situation with your own mother, seeing it play out again with somebody, it's almost like somebody that you care about, could trigger a response that comes from a place of wounding. So watch out for the red flags with that, because I feel like you have a opportunity to change the past with that butterfly effect by choosing a different action in the present. Does that make any sense? So it's like if you repeat, if you almost like coding, right? Almost like if you imagine that we're coded like we're computer game characters to have an automatic response to something. It's like when this event occurs, this is how people react, right? It's like, and that happens from the things that you've been taught throughout your life, like subconsciously. It can be things that you've seen in movies, it can be things that you've actually experienced yourself. It's like when this happens, this is how people react to that. It's like you've seen it play out so many times, but it always has the same outcome, it always has the same ending. So then react differently. If you're suddenly in that situation and you have an opportunity to act differently, do it, because it will break that cycle and give you a different outcome. I almost feel like you're trying to defend somebody else, but it's like, it's almost like that devil of something that's triggered through wounding. Right, December and good fortune. There is an angel on this card as well, though. And an angel on this card. I don't know if some of you are connected to a Sagittarius who's on the other side, because Sagittarius had this, like, there is an angel watching over you energy. And with You're Not Alone by Olive, it's like, or either birthday, right? June or December birthday. It's almost like you've got this spiritual protection or spiritual guidance. So Beetle and good fortune. Three of Swords. There is heartbreak here. There is emotional distress. It's almost like somebody's own thoughts are getting in the way of them being able to use their emotions correctly. It does feel like wounding through situations and experiences. It's almost like somebody's heart is not functioning to its full capacity because there's these blockages in it. Hopefully not. If anyone's got any heart trouble, please go and get that checked out. You know, just as a side note. But it's like almost like an emotional blockage is the way that I'm reading it. It's like their own thoughts, again, something from the past, causing fear to shut down emotionally, perhaps. Lightning, control your anger and the world. Wow, okay. Okay, this is looking good. Okay, so, ooh. So, Six of Wands is success. So there's some kind of success here. It could be financial. You have two Kings and the Six of Pentacles. So you could be dealing with two people. It doesn't have to be male, although it could indicate male energy. The King of Wands could be a Leo. The King of Pentacles could be a Taurus, but it doesn't have to be. The reason why I said this is good, because you've got success and because the Kings have self-control. The Knights are more impulsive, but the Kings have self-control. They've really learnt the lessons. They've had that life experiences. They've learnt the lessons about, you know, they've made mistakes and grown and learned from it. So the King of Wands especially controls his passions. He controls his anger. He harnesses his anger and he uses it in a healthy way. He turns anger into passion and passion into drive. So the King of Wands, very, very positive energy here with control your anger or you'll be sorry. This person controls his anger and he uses it and he harnesses it. King of Pentacles is like the king of finances, the king of money, the king of the home, the king of the workplace. So he has a lot of skills, he has a lot of resources, he has a lot of learning, all of which he's built up over time, and he's very confident in his capabilities. So I don't know if this is two people who you could be experiencing a bit of a battle with. You know, these could be people who you're coming into confrontation with or who anger you in some sort of way. But I'm not seeing cards about fighting or anything like that here, or competition. It could be that these are two aspects of one person. Again, whoever that Emperor energy is for you, these could be the two of their facets, because the Emperor is all four kings of the tarot. So there could be a situation where you or somebody around you needs to harness their anger, really exhibit a lot of self-control, and to there's something here about, and it could be, if it came out like this, I would definitely say there's some assets that are being divided between two different people. But because it came out like this, it's almost like these people are in a position, possibly being kings, to give to people who are less fortunate than themselves, or to because the Six of Pentacles is a card about giving and receiving, and normally it's something tangible. So here there's like knowledge or money. So it could be that this person has a lot of knowledge, this person has a lot of wealth, and trying to find some balance within those two. Could be the parts of yourself or the parts of this person. It's like this person's trying to balance out their need for a home base, for security, for comfort, for, you know, the finer things in life, for the material things that we need. You know, if you look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, we need a house over our, you know, a roof over our head. We need food on our table. This provides us with a sense of security. The King of Wands needs passion. He needs to feel motivated. He needs the like goals to throw his energy at, right? He needs something to be passionate about. He has sexual needs. So it's like balancing out your need for security and financial stability with your need, or this person is doing this with, or this person, like balancing out their need for security with their need for passion and for excitement. and understanding that both of those things like offer something. I don't know. But control your anger or you'll be sorry. Okie dokie. I'm just going to pause. I'm going to drink a bit more of this coffee and then I'm going to get you a advice card. I'm just going to pause while I get drawn. Basically, I don't know which deck to use for you, so I'm just going to let my intuition guide me. I'll be back in a second. Okay, I'm feeling Dragon Path. Again, a lot of stuff to do with the Empress energy, the feminine, divine feminine energy. You've had the Emperor and the Empress, so you are shown as the Devil in the Empress. That is that's intense. That is somebody with the world of experience, with the capabilities of the Empress, all four queens in the tarot, driven by this, turning that devil energy, very powerful energy, into the fuel, right? To transform it into something positive. That is very, very, very powerful energy. And if this is you and you're showing us that mystic energy, you are absolutely a huge force to be reckoned with. And it's no wonder that you're, you know, climbing above the rest and breaking through that canopy and being seen. Like, how could you not see this energy? So this energy that's showing us, this is showing as you and this is showing as somebody else. We'll flip it and reverse it if needs be. The Empress, fueled by the devil, it's like fueled by her anger to make positive change, is gonna, these people are not going to be a match for her, because that is 3 major arcana, incredibly powerful major arcana as well. There's no major arcana down here, and the kings, while they're brilliant, they're just one facet of the Emperor. And yeah, this energy is topping this energy right now. So there has been these messages with the Empress energy coming through all week, more or less in every single reading, of like, when they go low, you go high. So if people are trying to knock you down, like knock you down off your pedestal, if you feel like you're under attack, if you feel like people are gossiping or spreading slander or rumors, stand in your integrity, stand in your truth, take the high ground, just keep doing what you're good at, and transmute the toxicity into an opportunity for growth, and just keep being high vibrational, because it's like the second you lose your temper, you're not the Empress anymore, right? The devil comes out. So yeah, just stay high vibrational, right? You don't even have to defend yourself. You can walk away and continue to exist in that energy, right? You don't have to battle, you don't have to defend yourself. You just have to be the best version of yourself, and just ignore the haters, right? I'm seeing that meme where he has the spoons over his eyes and he's like, what is it? Blocking out the haters. Somebody's blocking out the haters. Yeah, so don't worry, you've got this. Look at that gorgeous Empress energy. Somebody else had this card as well. And courage and harmony. I am getting goosebumps. What beautiful energy. What a beautiful card as well, in a week that has been absolutely dominated by this fear energy. To have courage in the face of your own fears. And I've got head to toe hot goosebumps right now. Like, spirit energy is here in this reading. Like, it's so good. I love this for you, Caps, because, you know, I've been with you like through all those readings where it was like you were going down into the underworld, into your own shadow side, you know, confronting the devil, confronting your own you know, your own shadow self, like really fighting through like depression and like fears and, you know, toxic people around you, and going on that kind of like that pilgrimage of the soul, which I feel like throughout this course of Pluto and Saturn as well. Originally Saturn was in your chart, like Saturn, the planet of tough lessons, like the, you know, the stern father energy, and that Plutonic energy of like yeah, facing your fears and really harnessing that and seeing the power in utilizing the shadow self and getting to that golden shadow energy. I really feel like the past couple of years, while they've been so challenging for so many Capricorns, and it's not going to be everybody's reading, but you know, all those challenges that you faced over the past few years, and like really, really like looking back and seeing, like being really proud that you got through it, and you know, you survived that. You know, you survived that journey into the underworld. Not many people do, right? If you look at the classical stories, and then you come up for air, and it's like feeling that sunlight on your face, right? Breaking through the canopy again, feeling the sunlight on your face, and thinking, "Oh my goodness, I am so empowered by that wealth of experience that I had, like all that spiritual growth that I had on that journey." And now it's like I'm free. It's almost like born again, right? To be like a baby in the world, but a baby with a wealth of experience. It's so cool, and I've really been rooting for you all. Tomorrow is a new dawn, and being in our heart center ripples out with positive effects. So I'm reading Harmony. Excuse me a second. Okay, sorry, I just had to sniffle a little bit. Sorry, I saved you the noise. Harmony was the first shy dragon I met. So it's a metaphor, right? It's an anthropomorphication of whatever it is, of Harmony. Harmony is the first shy dragon I met. She was peeking out at me from behind a huge curtain when she first appeared to me. She's a quiet and considered being, and a lot less brash than some of the other dragons I have encountered. I asked her about her qualities, and she replied, I mean, it feels like the Emperor's talking, right? It feels like this is this part of you. I asked her about her qualities, and she replied, I am the bringer of harmony, restorative on an interpersonal level and an outer global level. If you are wrestling with a problem that you are unable to resolve, ask her to bring her beautiful harmonious influences to the situation and guide you in any steps that you may need to take. They're showing me something. I'll share it with you when I finish. If she has appeared to you today, she asks, what area of your life needs reviewing? What do you need to let go of? Is it judgments or old habits? What is it in your life that needs reharmonizing? I will assist you in taking these first steps, supporting you as you go. Take some time to sit and contemplate your life as it is, and look honestly at what may require changing. Again, like difficult conversation energy that I was seeing in the cards yesterday was like, it was almost like a truth being spoken to the people around you of like, this is what I need. Like, I don't want to hurt any of you, but this is what I need. This is what I need to do right now. This is what I need to do for my own personal healing and happiness. I know it's going to create a change for everybody, but like, it's almost like this is what my soul needs. This is the situation. This is how it is. Take some time to sit and contemplate your life as it is, and look honestly. I've read that. It may be something that quite small, just a little tweak, or it could be a life-changing event. I feel like life-changing with the Tower and the Fool in the world. She goes on to say, the answers you seek all lie within you. So sit quietly, ground yourself, be present and reflect. Your inner knowing, under my guidance, will help bring the answers to the surface for you. She reminds us, tomorrow is a new dawn, and being in our heart center ripples out with positive effect. She will often appear when there has been discord or upset. This can be personal or on a global scale. She is the harbinger of change, and her role is to bring harmony to the world. Right, really gorgeous. So it doesn't matter too much about your own gender, but stepping into your divine feminine energy, which is more supportive and nurturing than the energy of the Emperor, who is like, I'm taking charge of this situation. I'm going to be the boss here. It's more... I'm going to lead through high vibration. Right, I'm going to just find what they were showing me and share it with you. Hold on a sec. Okay, I'm not looking to get copyright strikes here, but I'm going to show you a couple of clips of a YouTube video. The channel it's on is called, if I can not do too much, Happy Mag, and it's Dolly Shuts Down, Patronising Interview in Style. So Dolly Parton is Capricorn, I believe, and it's so good. It just popped up on my feed the other day, and I was like, I love this. So actually, just let me just work out the shadows and the lighting. Hold on. Okay, so here we go. So it starts out with just this really patronising like questions, like,
Dolly, where I come from, would I have called you a hillbilly? If you had of, it would have been been something very natural, but I would have probably kicked your shins.
So I would have probably kicked your shins. So she's you know, where I come from, and we would have called you a hillbilly. She's like such a cow. Hold on a second. Okay, so fast forwarded the interview a little bit. Again, if you want to watch the whole video, like Happy Mag, Dolly shuts down her interviewing style. Like, go and watch the interview; it's so good. But she's this Barbara Walters. She's really like criticizing, and I don't know who she is. I've heard of her name, but don't know who she is. I know who Dolly Parton is, you know. So it's like she's just sat there insulting her and insulting the way she dresses, the way she looks, and she's so lovely about it. So like, let's. It's gonna be a bit loud.
Parts of me to be appreciated. I'm very real where it counts, and that's inside. And as far as my outlook on life and the way I care about people and the way I care about myself and the things that I care about. But I just chose to do this, and it's show business is a money-making joke, and I've just always liked telling jokes.
But do you ever feel that you're a joke, that people make
So
fun
rude.
of you?
Oh, I know they make fun of me, but actually all these years people, you know, has thought the joke was on me, but it's actually been on the public. I know exactly what I'm doing, and I can change it at any time. Or I make more jokes about myself than anybody, because I enjoy it. I know, like I say, I am sure of myself as a person. I'm sure of my talent, and to me, and I'm sure of my love and for life and that sort of thing. I'm very content. I like the kind of person that I am. So I can afford to piddle around and diddle around with makeups and clothes and stuff because I am secure with myself.
Beautiful. It's so good. So she is, I've shut my curtain so you may have noticed it's gone a bit darker, just to not have that reflection on the screen. It's so beautiful. So that energy of like, I know they make fun of me. Like, I don't care. Like, I'll make fun of, it's 11111 on the timestamp. Yeah, I know people make fun of me and I don't care because I like who I am. I like myself. She's so high vibrational. She's so gorgeous. And in the face of those horrible condescending questions, she went high, you know. And she did. She probably was quite annoyed in that moment, but she handled it with style, and you know, and that's why she took the win. Right, Barbara Waters took the L in that interview. So yeah, I don't know. Use that as an example of like, when you love yourself, when you have that unconditional love, that Ace of Cups within, you can face the world with a smile, because sticks and stones may break your bones, but Dolly Parton is high vibrational. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. All right, I hope this interview. I hope this video doesn't get copyright claims. Support me now. Click like, share with friends. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you everybody who supports my channel. So yeah, you've ended up with another hour-long video. I was trying to make it shorter, but I don't know. Spirit had a lot to say for you this week. You know, I don't know whether I'll put that other video up or not, but if you are interested in it, maybe just let me know and I might post the link. Yeah, I loved it. I loved that. It was so much better. Like, I feel like that was so high vibrational, and I love that energy of like just like feeling the fear and doing it anyway, and facing the storms and seeing it as an opportunity for growth, and taking the toxicity and, you know, transmuting it into something loving and high vibrational and inspiring, and as you know, like an icon for other people to follow. So it's just gorgeous energy. I love it. I hope this reading was helpful to you. Please, please, please take care of yourselves. Cappies, I want you to be happy. And I do feel like you're starting to realize what you need to do to not only like respect yourself in terms of like doing what you need to do to, it has a bigger impact than just you. It's not just I'm Cappy, I'm going to make myself happy and screw everybody else. It's I'm Cappy, and I know that I am in a better position to serve others and to nurture others when I'm doing it from a place where I feel happy and content and empowered. When Cappy's happy, is like you're in a better place to nurture other people. If you're struggling, if you're having an internal struggle, you're in no place to support the people around you. And it's the recognition of that, and the recognition that sometimes you have to put your own needs first in order to to be that Empress energy or Emperor energy. Take it as it resonates. I love it. Please take care of yourselves. Go forth and conquer the world. It looks like that's what you're trying to do here. Typical Cappies. It's like, well, somebody's got to do it, right? Because, you know, I'm a safe pair of hands, and if I'm in charge, everything's going to run smoothly. Typical Cappies. All right, take care. Love you all, and I will see you again soon. Bye, friends.